Hello and welcome back. I've noticed of recent that my videos have had a sort of pattern involving humanity getting fucked over in ways, including intergalactic military corporations, interplanetary colonial warfare, scientists messing with ancient artifacts that they know nothing about, or just straight up nuclear apocalypse. All of this is unintentional, although surprisingly fitting seeing the year we've been having. Well, we can add alien gene splicing to the list because today I'm reviewing the first instalment of the Resistance series, made by Insomniac Games, the people behind the original 3 Spyro games, the Ratchet & Clank series, that one PS4 Spider-Man game, and that one game they made before the Spyro series that no one cares about. So let's stop beating around the bush and get a gobful of Resistance Fall of Man. The story takes place in an alternate timeline after the Second World War, where a group of aliens called the Chimera have finally woken up after being frozen under Siberia for millions of years. The aliens decide to create an army by abducting humans and splicing them with their own DNA. They use this army to devastate Russia, sweep through the whole of Europe, and dig a tunnel underneath the Channel and finally invade and conquer Britain. You play as Saxton, and yes, that was the same thought I had when I first heard that name. Saxton is a member of the American troops being sent in to help out the remaining British resistance. In the process of Saxton trying to recapture the city of York, he's infected by the Chimera virus, which gives him superhuman abilities and regeneration in the short term, but in the long term will eventually transform him into a Chimera. Saxton is then captured by the Chimera and taken to their conversion facility in Grimsby, which essentially speeds up the whole transformation process. Saxton manages to escape the facility and reunite with the rest of the resistance in Manchester. The resistance has managed to capture a Chimera specimen called an angel. Not quite sure why they call it an angel, as its appearance has as much to do with the angel of biblical mythology as Freddy Krueger has with Freddie Mercury. Saxton then heads off to Nottingham to clear out some Chimera tunnels, then on to the military base at Cheshire where the Chimera have decided to attack in an attempt to rescue the angel. Saxton defeats the Chimeran invaders and kills the angel, then proceeds to head over to Somerset to check out some mysterious Chimeran activity in Cheddar Gorge. They find out that the Chimera were excavating an ancient artefact of theirs in the gorge, yet more proof that the Chimera have been on this planet for a very long time. Saxton then heads off to defend another military base in Bristol, and whilst the rest of the resistance evacuate to Cardiff, Saxton finds a bunch of tunnels that lead to London through Bracknell. Saxton surfaces in London to find the entire area covered in snow, and that the Chimera are using this giant tower to convert the weather into something more their liking. The tower is also the centre of the Chimera's network, and if it's destroyed, the whole network will collapse. Saxton helps clear a path for the resistance reinforcements that arrive, helps them towards the tower, blows up the tower's core, destroying the tower, the Chimera's network, and assumingly himself. Except not really, because after the credits he's found by the resistance who escort him to safety. The game's controls are a bit odd. It's R1 to fire, which is expected from a PS3 game, L1 to alt fire, R2 to select and change weapons, L2 to crouch, but for some reason to zoom in and scope you have to press the right joystick. Triangle for melee attack, X to jump, square to interact, circle to throw a grenade, and the directional buttons to select the type of grenade. It plays like your standard FPS. You walk over weapons and ammo boxes to collect ammo, collect glowing containers to regain health, and you can collect secret documents hidden throughout levels to collect extra bits of lore. You've got an assault rifle with a grenade launcher, a Chimera weapon that shoots a tracker that allows its bullets to target into whatever the tracker's attached to, a gun that shoots through walls, a shotgun, a sniper rifle, a gun that shoots explosive globules, a gun that shoots bullets that bounce off walls, and a rocket launcher. Although the variety of the weapons doesn't really matter, as it's more dependent on what ammo is available. There's also a variety of grenades, including standard ones, ones that shoot out needles, and ones that create a small area of fire when thrown. The graphics are okay for an early PS3 game. It's not exactly highly detailed and a bit dreary at parts, but it works fairly well enough. Despite taking place all over the UK, I felt the levels felt a bit samey. By that I mean they didn't feel very distinct from each other, and if you put two levels beside each other you could almost mistake them for being the same place. And the accuracy between the game's locations and their real life counterparts is questionable, especially what they did with Trafalgar Square. The square's too small, Nelson's Column's too close to the edge, one of the fountains is missing, the stairway in the middle's not there, the two of the lion statues are missing, and the two that they do have are in completely the wrong place. I know this seems a bit petty, but when it comes to inaccuracies with a place that I am familiar with, it just ruins my immersion. Music's okay. I mean, it does fit the atmosphere, but you tend to not notice or even realise it's there. This game is okay. It's fairly solid if the enemy placement isn't a bit annoying at times, but with the exception of the Chimera themselves, nothing really seems to stand out about this game. I feel that the game's success at the time was less to do with the quality of the game itself and more just the lack of shooters that were on the PS3 at the time. Well, that's all from me. See you guys next time. They find out the
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think we're on